All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and it looked like we got a woke judicial nominee. Now, this video right here was sent to me, and a lot of y'all was saying like, Adogg, you need to check this out. They said that Senator John Kennedy went off on this woman, said she was lying about some things and stuff like that. They sent me the video, so they want me to check it out. Now, this one right here, it said, Kennedy confronts judicial nominee about letter calling to release prisoners. Hold on. So John Kennedy finna snap on this woman for trying to let out prisoners, people that probably done did some of the worst things in the world, and you got this woman that probably, I'm guessing, signed off to try to let these people walk. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no. We definitely got to check this out, and let's see what John Kennedy had to say about this. And I'm pretty sure he didn't take it light on it either. I'm pretty sure he didn't. But make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. And I also want to thank everybody that clicked on this video for the very first time. I appreciate you as well. Without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. And hopefully a lot of you, if not everybody, stay to the very end, watch the entire video with me. It'll help YouTube share this video, and make sure y'all hit that like button because that helps as well. And let's get straight into this, man, and let's see exactly what happened.
Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just feel like I need to ask this question. Mr. Fonzone, when you advised the companies referenced, Huawei and others, you were at Sidley?
Yes, that's right, sir.
And when a client comes to Sidley, you have to fill out a form that says, you know, here's my client name, here's my mailing address for business purposes, and here are my political beliefs. Is that the way it works?
There's definitely a client intake process. I don't remember all the particulars of it.
I mean, big law it's kind of like who can pay the freight, right?
That's an aspect of the
Okay.
intake process, I'm sure.
I understand. Professor, I'm looking at a letter dated March 16, 2020. It's a letter to Governor Lamont in Connecticut. The title of it is Urgent Action Needed to Protect Individuals in Connecticut's Prisons and Jails from Coronavirus 19 Pandemic. Did you sign that letter?
So I don't recall sitting here today, Senator.
You don't recall. How you not know if you done signed something? You know if you done signed something or not.
Why didn't you turn this over to us when you were asked to submit documents?
So, Senator, I made every effort to search for everything that I had ever signed. That's not a letter I remember, but I will certainly take a look at that. And
We found it just with a search on the internet.
I apologize, Senator.
Oh, man.
Apologize
In
that
your
I missed
letter
that.
to the governor, here's what you say. As they stand, prisons and jails are detrimental to public health and human rights and disproportionately harm marginalized communities, including Black, Brown, Indigenous, and other communities of color, immigrants, people with mental illness, people with disabilities, people in the LGBTQ plus community, people who use drugs, people engaged in sex work and street economies, and people experiencing houselessness and poverty. So if you believe that about our prisons, how are you going to ever sentence somebody to prison?
Exactly.
So, Senator, I will need to take a look at that letter, and I apologize that that's not something I found to hand to this committee.
You're not denying you said that.
I do need to see the letter to see the context, because again, it's not something I remember adding my name to. I can assure you,
Right.
Senator.
And you also say, first, you call on Governor Lamont to release everybody in jail. Is that right?
Release?
Because of the coronavirus?
So again, Senator, I would need to see that letter in front of me. It certainly was not.
You can find it with, just put your name into Google. You'll find it in about 3 nanoseconds.
I will, Senator. I can assure you that I
You said in your letter, Professor, we call on Governor Lamont, state of Connecticut, and all Connecticut jurisdictions to immediate release to the maximum extent possible people incarcerated pre-trial and post-conviction. And then you go on to say, talking once again about our jails, the global COVID-19 pandemic is throwing into sharp relief the untenable state of our penal system and the need for sustained action to shrink its scale, shrink its size, and shrink its scope. You sound here like the district attorney in San Francisco. If you believe that, how are you going to ever sentence anybody to jail, Professor?
Exactly.
I can assure you, Senator, that I understand the role of the judge and that I can assure you prison time is an appropriate sentence in
That's
many
not what
cases.
you say here.
But that ain't what you're
You
saying
wrote
there.
the governor. This isn't some DoorDash delivery guy. You wrote the governor of your state 3 years ago.
So again,
I'm
Senator,
in law school.
Senator, I would need to look at the letter. It sounds like it was written at the height of the pandemic where governors were looking for.
You also wrote the governor, you said people over the age of 55 are at the greatest risk for COVID-19, but also pose the least public safety risk to our communities. People in this age group can and should be released immediately to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. You think the governor just, if you're over the age of 55, he should let everybody go?
No, Senator, that's not a position.
That's what you said.
Okay.
Here it is, biggest house.
Again, Senator, I will look at that letter. I can assure you that.
Find it on Google, Professor. You also say Governor Lamont should issue an executive.
I really, like, I'm telling you, y'all, this woman is sitting there, like, come on, bro. Like, you know if you sign something or not. She keeps saying, well, I got to look at the letter. You know that. You talking about letting prisoners out, people that done probably did some of the filthy and nasty and worstest thing in the world. And you talking about just letting them out. Like, what is wrong with her? Like, you could tell she's lying, bro. Should she be arrested for lying to Congress? Like, you're sitting up here lying, talking about every time he said he read out what she said and the letter she wrote, she keeps saying, well, I need to look at that. Like, come on, we ain't crazy. You know if you wrote something or not. It's not that hard. She could have been like, well, yeah, I wrote it at the time. I shouldn't have never did that. Just tell the truth. But she can't even tell the truth. She just keeps saying the same thing over and over. I need to look at it. He said, well, yeah, type your name in online, you will see it. He's reading out everything that she wrote. Like, I mean, come on. Don't nobody wish anybody to go to prison or jail, but if you put yourself in that position, then that's on you. If you do harm to somebody or you did this or you did that, that's where you deserve to be. You don't need, I mean, come on. And then you got people, they got houses beside prisons and jails. What if somebody that used to be with them is in that prison that was always harming them or something, then you talking about just letting them out? That right there is the type of risk that you take when you up here, you writing letters talking about just let people out. And the thing that's getting me is that she is sitting up here saying the same thing. I need to look at the letter. Let me look at the letter. Mr. Kennedy, he telling her, he like, this is what you wrote. Your signature is on here. Your signature is on here. Like, Jesus Christ. Come on. Just tell the truth. Tell Senator Kennedy, just say, I did write that letter. I should never wrote that. I don't know what I was thinking at that time that I was writing it. But yes, I did write it. Of course, he know you did it because your signature on there. But for her to keep saying the same thing about, I need to look at it, I don't remember, like, come on now. Ain't nobody falling for that. I'm like, come on, just tell the truth, ma'am.
That's what you said.
Okay.
Here it is, biggest house.
Again, Senator, I will look at that letter. I can assure you that.
Find it on Google, Professor. You You also say Governor Lamont should issue an executive order to direct the state's attorney offices and law enforcement entities, including the town and city police departments, and any federal law enforcement entity operating within the state to immediately cease adding to the incarcerated prison population given the high risk of infection posed by the population increase. You asked the governors to tell every law enforcement official in the state to stop arresting people and putting them in jail, didn't you?
Oh my! She literally told them to stop. So you writing a letter trying to get the jailhouse and get the police and everybody to stop arresting people. So what you saying is, Professor Sarah, that people can go out and do anything that they want to. They can harm people, they can rob banks, they can do whatever they want to, and they can do it because they ain't worried about a police arresting them. Because you wrote a letter talking about leave people alone, pretty much just let them do whatever they want to do. You know, like a person like this is what's wrong with our world. Like, come on. Like I said in the beginning, don't nobody want to see anybody go to jail. But if you put yourself in that position doing something stupid and crazy, that's just where you deserve to be. Now, you writing letters talking about letting people out of prison. You writing letters talking about telling the police to stop arresting people. So pretty much you saying just let people do whatever they want to do and you don't want them arrested. Due to how filthy the jails and stuff is. Here's the thing. Let's just say the jails and stuff, prison and stuff are filthy. If a lot of people know that, why do they put themselves in positions to end up in there? If you know it's filthy, you know to keep your head on right, don't do stupid stuff, and you don't have to go deal with them type of problems. You won't have to worry about the jails and stuff being filthy. Like, come on. And watch, he just asked her this question. She gonna come up with something stupid again. She probably gonna end up saying she don't remember. Let me take it back real quick. But this is ridiculous. What is wrong with this woman? I've never seen nobody do this before, y'all. I've never heard nobody say nothing like this.
To immediately cease adding to the incarcerated prison population given the high risk of infection posed by the population increase. You asked the governors to tell every law enforcement official in the state to stop arresting people and putting them in jail, didn't you?
So again, Senator, I have to look at that letter. I do think there were modifications that the governors were making around the country to respond to the pandemic.
You also had an opinion in your letter about, can I have another 30 seconds, Mr. You had an opinion in your letter about immigration. You said immigration detention poses the same health risks to jails and prisons, and Connecticut law enforcement must stop feeding people into the unsafe and inhumane immigration detention system. Then you say Governor Lamont should release all individuals currently in state custody who are waiting to transfer to ICE custody, and the governor should declare a moratorium on all such future transfers. How, if somebody is in our country illegally and commits a crime, are you going to put them in jail if you believe this about immigration?
Senator, I can assure you, were I so fortunate to be confirmed, I would treat crimes seriously.
That's not what this letter says, Professor.
It's not.
And it was 3 years ago. It wasn't when you were in law school, and you didn't turn it over to us. We had to find it on our own.
Senator, the chair has been generous in time. I think you've had.
Man. Boy, I don't know, bro. You can literally tell she was lying. I've never seen a person say the same thing over and over and over. I need to look at it. I need, like, you know if you did something or not. Like, come on, it was 3 years ago. You know good well if you signed your name on a letter to try to get prisoners released due to it being filthy and infections, all that stuff you're talking about. But like I said before, people shouldn't put themselves in positions to have to deal with those type of situations. If you don't put yourself in them positions, you at home. You ain't got to go deal with stuff like that. But when you're talking about writing a letter just to release people, and then the people you talking about releasing, you don't even know what kind of crime they did. They could have been did the worst crime in the world. Some stuff that they should probably never see the daylight again. And you talking about just release them. What? Like it just that right there just don't make sense to me. It really don't. I don't know that woman at all. I think her name was Sarah or something. I don't really know her. Obviously, she says she's a professor. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. And shout out to the ones that sent me the video, wanted me to check it out. But man, this right here was something else, and John Kennedy wasn't playing at all. He was not playing at all. But like I said, y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody that stayed to the very end. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.